Bah c'est vrai qu'il y a une porte là, mais je sais pas si on peut sortir dehors. Je ne pense pas. Parce qu'il y a, comment il s'appelle, le jardinier qui est sorti dehors normalement. Dans le chapitre 1, il y a le jardinier qui sort dehors, mais moi je sais pas si je peux sortir dehors. Peut-être qu'on peut, hein. Donc là on peut pas retourner dans la cave. Non. Là il y a rien. Quitter le jardin, mais ça met ça à chaque fois que je regarde par les fenêtres.
If the old man I saw was really my grandfather Edward, then the boy must be... I need to find out if that really was him I saw. If the old man I saw was really my grandfather Edward.
Ok, donc non. A priori, on peut pas sortir. Faut peut-être que j'aille revoir comment elle s'appelle. La lady. Pour peut-être parler avec elle. Donc c'est là-bas où il y a les chevaliers.
Maybe you want to have something to ask her.
Ah non, il veut plus rien le lui dire. Donc il y a autre chose à faire quelque part. Donc mais ici il n'y a rien à faire. Après il n'y a pas 36 portes, donc ah, peut-être écouter la musique, je sais pas.
I'll give that a spin later.
Non. Non, il n'y a rien non plus à faire ici. Ou alors, faut peut-être que j'attende tranquillement dans la bibliothèque. Je sais pas. Ou peut-être le téléphone. Ah bah non, il marche pas.
It's working. Has it been repaired? Or did Andrew lie to me?
Ah. Bon, alors, en tout cas, on sait que le mec, il a menti parce que le téléphone fonctionne. Ah, faut peut-être que j'aille lui parler. Ou alors, peut-être que je peux sortir aussi. Oh non, je peux pas sortir. Vous voyez, c'est coincé. Je peux pas. Peut-être retourner dans la bibliothèque. Peut-être que là, elle va être là. Non, voilà. Je fais le tour pour voir si elle est pas là. Mais non, a priori elle est pas là.
shame. Attics often speak volumes.
Ah! On a trouvé encore un morceau de photo. Bah, c'est bizarre quand même parce que je vais voir partout et je peux rien faire.
If the old man I saw was really my grandfather Edward, then the boy must be... I better leave
C'est ça qu'à chaque fois il se met en petit ou en grand, je sais pas. Il bouge. Ah, j'ai ma petite Lulutte qui pleure. Je vais aller voir ce cas-là. coquine. C'est vraiment une coquine. Ah. Alors, excusez-moi, hein. J'étais dans ma petite louloute. Non, elle parle dans son lit. Alors, du coup, j'ai été cachée derrière la porte. Par contre, je peux re-regarder le tableau
Definitely the
là.
man I saw last night. But how? Grandfather Edward died before I was even born. And he'd be in his 70s if he was still alive.
Faut peut-être que j'aille revoir la lady puis lui parler réellement en fait que j'ai vu des fantômes peut-être, je sais pas. Ou alors peut-être aussi m'excuser de mon comportement, d'avoir fouillé la nuit.
Maybe you want to have something to ask her.
Ah bah non, elle a rien à me dire. Là, franchement, je vois pas ce que je dois faire. Là, franchement, là, je vois pas. Parce que j'ai vraiment été tout partout.
This will make it easier to carry.
Ah! J'ai pris une photo.
The boy. It must be. But I need to be sure. Perhaps the names are on the back. Grandfather Edward.
Ça, j'avais pas vu.
Just as he looked last night. My family. Yet they're all still strangers to me. Lady Margaret. She looks happy. I can't imagine her smiling like that these days. What's this? Looks like it's drawn in blood?
Oh! What? Ah non! Oula, qu'est-ce que je dois faire? Oh, le petit garçon! Mais c'est quoi ce bordel en fait? C'est quoi ça?
Regardless of what I told Miss Cranen, these visions are like nothing I've ever experienced before. And they're getting worse. How did he provoke Edward into throwing him down the stairs?
Ouais, il y a le journal de quête qui s'est mis à jour. Allez voir Alissa après le dîner. Retrouver la tombe du tableau. Faut que je sorte dehors. Faut peut-être sortir dehors. Ou peut-être aller dîner, je sais pas. Ou peut-être parler à la mamie. Ah! Nouveau sujet de conversation.
Lady Margaret?
Yes, David?
I saw an old photograph of a boy in the other room. Something tells me she wouldn't be happy if she knew I had it in my pocket.
That was taken in 1894. Young Johnny, your father.
Ah, c'était
You
son
can remember
papa.
the exact year.
It's a funny thing when you reach my age. You can remember dates from decades ago.
But not what you had for breakfast.
Maybe others can't.
Who, may I ask, were the others in the picture?
That would be your Aunt Clara and your late great-grandmother, the last true Countess of Scahandew House. And my dear Edward, of course.
I noticed my father had a scar on his face. How did that happen?
Falling from a tree, perhaps? I can't recall. But your father was a clumsy child.
Can't recall. But you remember the date the photograph was taken. I shall take my leave, Lady Margaret.
Yes.
Ah. C'est pas l'air de passer à table, donc je pense qu'on doit... je pense qu'on va devoir sortir, je pense, pour aller découvrir la tombe. Mais il pleut dehors, je vais être trempée si je dois sortir. Ah oui, c'est ça, on peut sortir.
Finally,
À
some
mon avis, ça
fresh
doit
air.
se passer là-bas, parce que la maison toute pourrie.
Master David,
You could tell it was me.
your footsteps. I ken the walk of everyone here.
Well, that's rather incredible.
Aye, that it is, laddie, that it is. I hear better than most, see more than most and all.
When you talked about what they did to my father, what did you mean?
You shouldn't have come back. You canna go through what he did as a bairn and no be sick.
So his hospitalization was justified then?
Not for me to say. Before you think of putting down roots here, you should think on what the poison grown here did to your father. You ken?
No, not really.
If you dinna mind, this door will no mend it.
I'll leave you to it then. Father had a similar toolbox.
Il me semble que c'est là-bas, hein. Ouais, l'arbre, je crois.
Nobody left to mourn the dead.
Il me semble qu'il fouillait ici, le petit garçon, non?
I've seen this before. In the painting. This is the grave I saw in that waking dream or whatever it was. Who's buried here? If I could just... Ah! These vines are too thick.
Il va falloir qu'on aille piquer un outil, je crois.
I need
non
something to...
Il va falloir qu'on aille piquer un outil. Et ça, je crois que c'est la chapelle.
Locked with a pad.
Bouh! Aïe 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 aïe. Je dérouille, je dérouille. Dites-moi que ça me parle de... Oh, ça va, c'est bon.
Rory's tools. Rory's tools. A hammer, a talon saw, a bolt cutter. All a bit rusty, but in good order. You wouldn't have to have a chapel key?
Ain't set a foot in there for years, and I don't intend to either.
That'll be a no then. The graveyard. Is it a family plot?
Aye. No matter how high and mighty, all the Gordons end up there.
A cheery thought. It's a shame we do not have the means to properly care for the graves.
Why bother? 'Tis bones and food for worms.
May I?
Maybe. If I can.
Ah bah, j'ai un peu l'air faim là, qu'est-ce que je pourrais dire?
The graves. I would like to tidy them up.
Is that a fact?
They are my family.
Bah, j'ai bien fait de dire ça, hein. Vous imaginez si j'aurais mis oh ben je veux juste péter le cadenas, hein. Il m'aurait dit ça pas, non? Laisse-moi mon outil tranquille.
Better. Cecilia Shaw Nee Gordon. Aunt Cecilia. Now, let's see if there's something really buried in here. Another piece of the castle model.
On dirait la chapelle.
Another part of the model. And it's stained with what seems to be old blood. Why did Father bury this when he was a child?
Je crois que j'ai dû casser. Je vais péter ces outils. Bah, tout compte fait, on aura été dans la chapelle sans l'autre bonhomme. Oh mon dieu, mais elle est toute purie la chapelle.
Father, I hope you found your peace. Were you sick, like they say you were? Whatever it is. The place is crumbling. Not the safest spot to pray. Being the chronicle of the family Gordon, as laid down by Sir Drummond Gordon.
Local legend speaks of this particular glen as being inhabited from time immemorial. Enigmatic, elaborately carved Pictish stones stand as timeless evidence of this. As for the locals, they appear prideful of the counsel they delight in giving to visitors. Traveler, beware. The Celtic peoples arrived in this place like a great beast, bringing with them the bloodlines that would eventually spawn the Gordon clan. Using their superior numbers, knowledge, and machines of war, they swiftly conquered the primeval Picts. With them, they brought too their religion and druid clerics. The magics these wise men used did shape forever the lands, even until this present day. It is said that the sempiternal burden our 'Tis well recorded how the Empire of Rome did fail to tame the wayward Scots, that they did even raise a barrier to protect. What is seldom told is the truth behind their defeat. Our ancestors drew upon ancient powers to aid their victory, powers not easily fathomed by the fragile human mind. This aid did come at the greatest of costs, a debt as yet unsettled. For the centuries, we Gordons made the land our own. Others did bow to us, as we kept the secrets of Scahan even as tragedy and madness did fester in our foundations, we held fast and steered the land through vile English attack and worse. In time, the Gordons and the land became one.
Some pages have been ripped out. The only thing left seems to be some...
In blood we are bound to the land we protect, to the truths we alone may conceal. I shall forfeit my life, lest my clan should suffer. I shall forfeit my spirit to hold the darkness at bay. In blood we are bound till the day of the reckoning.
What on earth? Where's the cold coming from?
C'est quoi ça?
Is this what madness feels like? It can't be real. All this looks like the bottom of a lake. What are you trying to show me?
On va se faire manger par un poisson tout à l'heure.
She's not holding a baby, but some heavy object to weigh herself down. There's a fresh wound across her stomach. The figure up there must be Edward.
Je pouvais voir quelque chose là. Comment je fais? Ah. Pour retirer Mimi. On est peut-être dans la flotte, mais on peut pas nager. Il pousse qui, lui? Il m'a tué. Mais je savais pas qu'on pouvait mourir dans ce jeu-là.
Being the
That is set. Tis. Oh.
some
To the. I shall fort in blood till.
Is this what madness
Bah
feels
ouais,
like?
game over.
It can't be real.
Je savais pas que le fantôme pouvait me tuer.
All this looks like the bottom of a lake. What are you trying to show me?
Je peux me sauvegarder en haut, hein.
She's not holding a baby, but some heavy object to weigh her.
Ah, mais...
There's a fresh wound across her stomach. The figure up there must be Edward.
Ah, je peux pas sauvegarder.
A note. I'm taking my baby with me to save it from this Rotten family.
Find my child! Are you all right?
J'ai foiré mon truc. C'est qui elle?
Did you see her? She drowned.
Calm down, you're in shock. What were you doing clambering about in here?
If I told you, you'd think me mad.
Odd. That is just what your father said to me.
You knew my father. How?
I treated your father at the asylum. I'm Dr. Leah Faber.
The asylum?
Let's get you back to the castle and make sure you're okay.
Eh ben, ça promet, hein.
What did you come here for?
I'm not sure your father's story is finished yet, and there are some things I still need to make my peace with.
What's this about an asylum?
As I said, your father was admitted.
Why? Who did that to him?
I did. But unfortunately, he managed to escape.
What? Hold on a minute. How dare you come in here and...
Told you? Your father was a madman. A complete and utter madman. Don't mind me. Please continue.
Well, what right did you have to lock my father up in a madhouse?
I was his doctor. I understand you are in shock, but you have no right to speak to me in such a way. I was trying to help him.
He's dead. Capital job.
Now, hold on just a minute.
Oh. Oh, oh, oh.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, no! No!
C'est le cerf, non? Ah, c'est la bonne. Il y a quelqu'un qui a tué la bonne pour pas qu'elle me parle. C'est très bizarre, hein. Bon, là, on va suspecter tout le monde, hein. Ah oui, on voit bien qu'elle a la nuque brisée, hein.
Eddie, it'll be all right. Pull yourself together.
I suggest nobody else goes down there. We should keep the room intact until the police can get here.
I shall alert them first thing in the morning. What an unfortunate accident.
An accident? You think so? Just after the madman's son turned up at our door?
And yet you were the one standing over
Oh mon
her
Dieu,
body with
ses
blood
yeux.
on your hands.
Oh, il fait peur, on croirait qu'il est...
I was too late.
Qu'ils sont tous
I was
tristes, mon
trying to
Dieu.
help her. She...
There, my sweet boy. Let's get you to bed. Angus, would you?
Of course, ma'am.
I think we will all benefit from a good night's sleep.
Ah bah mes
I
yeux
know
sont
you may
revenus
have no
normales.
reason to, but I need you to trust me. I'm the only one on your side when it comes to your father's death.
Lady Margaret certainly isn't. But if I told you what I saw in the chapel, You'd have me in a padded cell, just like my father. So, what was my father like when you locked him up?
I didn't just lock him up, I tried to help him. Your father was heavily drugged when he was brought to me. It was to prevent any further violent outbursts, or so Lady Margaret had said, but something felt wrong, even then.
Why did you come here? To make sure my father was successfully in the ground?
With all due respect, Mr. Gordon, I will not allow you to speak to me or about my work in such a tone. I tried everything I could to aid your father. He was convinced he was carrying some ancient curse, that he was being haunted by evil. I wish I had reached him, had been able to help him.
So do I. You weren't the only one who couldn't reach him. You're a persistent one, aren't you? Maybe if I threw you a bone, you'd get off my back. Father was obsessed with the history of the family for as long as I can remember.
Did your father actually believe his family was out to get him?
Who knows? I think what scared him was beyond the physical. He used to babble about a dark force threatening him and our family.
Was that why he moved you to India? To get as far away as possible?
I believe so.
And yet, here you are, in the very place he sought to protect you from.
Who knows? Maybe there is an ancient evil in this place. An evil that drags us back no matter how far away we get. Even from the other side of the world.
And what do you think? Was your father right? Are there things beyond the physical?
I have other things to worry about right now. Things like a drowning woman floating in thin air. If you really want to help me, I need to find out what the maid knew. What Lady Margaret and Angus didn't want her to tell me.
You believe it got her killed?
Maybe. What I saw in the chapel, it has to be real. She must have drowned herself down at the loch. Because if it's all in my mind, like father, like son.
We need to examine the maid's body in the cellar.
To find out who killed her?
To be sure she was murdered before we start pointing fingers.
Oh mon Dieu,
Angus will have the key. Rory's not one for cleaning up after himself. Rory's not one for...
C'est vrai qu'il y a quelque chose dans le...
Rory's not one for cleaning up after himself.
We need to examine...
To find out who killed her.
To be sure...
Donc il faut qu'on trouve la clé. Ah oui, puis j'ai une autre truc de pièce. Enquêter sur la mort d'Alissa. On va prendre plus sur la femme qui s'est noyée. C'est bizarre parce que j'ai l'impression qu'il y a quelque chose dans le plat, mais je ne peux pas y toucher. Comment ça se fait? Bizarre. Parce que je peux pas le prendre. On dirait que c'est un truc pour ouvrir ou je sais pas quoi, un couteau. Ah, j'ai une bonne femme qui me suit partout. C'est charmant ça. Hein, charmant. Il est où Angus? Le majordome.
Another part of the model.
Bon, c'est bizarre, je
And
peux
it's
pas la
stained
mettre.
with what seems to be old blood. Why did Father bury this when he was a child?
Non.
I've read enough to know Edward was a dangerous man.
Oh, un meurtrier, carrément. Peut-être la bibliothèque, je sais pas. Ah bah non, il est pas là.
If you'd just like to wait out here, sir.
I need to speak with Eddie.
The young master and her ladyship are otherwise detained.
May I remind you, this is my
May I remind...
Might as well try moving a mountain out of...
Fair enough.
There's no doubt about his law. Mr. McKinnon.
You may not, sir. As Mr. Harrison...
That's a fair point. I'm just concerned that some of the game in the cellar may have been caught illegally.
Well...
I'd be happy to get rid of the evidence. For Eddie to be found poaching on another family's estate could prove him.
You're barely part of this family, but...
I'm the new owner of the estate. I worry what people...
I think the
I do, and I don't think Lady Margaret would take kindly...
Upon reflection, removing the...
Ah, j'ai réussi à avoir la clé.
There's no doubt about...
On a la clé, ça y est. Par contre, c'est super chiant parce que la gonzesse me suit pas. Alors du coup, c'est super sombre. Ça fait... ouh. Ça fait froid dans le dos.
Good thing I found that map.
Pourquoi il dit qu'il a trouvé cette carte sur lui? Ce serait bien qu'elle me suive, elle, hein.
They seem to be a house full of carnivores.
What a horrific way to die.
Her neck's been broken, and with some considerable force, it seems. Her necklace looks like gold, albeit a plain design. And it's missing any form of pendant.
Still, well beyond a maid's salary.
Oui, de tension.
It...
Oh!
Where's that sudden draft coming from?
Merde.
The missing pendant. He threw it into the blood-filled basin.
Mr. Gordon? Speak to me, please.
Oh mon Dieu, qu'est-ce que je dois faire?
David, can you hear me?
J'ai pas compris. Qu'est-ce qui m'est arrivé?
They seem to be
À
a
mon avis,
house full
je
of
dois être trop
carnivores.
lente ou alors je m'approche trop près de comment? Du fantôme.
Her neck's been... Her neck...
Still,
À mon avis, je dois pas rester proche d'eux.
Where's that sudden draft coming
Your
from?
stag is here, my little doe.
Little doe. Not exactly the usual way to address the staff. A club.
Je suis trop près, je suis trop près, je suis trop près, trop près, trop près. Bah, elle m'a plus que croqué, elle me bouffe le cou. Elle me fait un gros suçon dans le cou. Mais c'est chiant parce que je dois vachement m'approcher en fait pour... Bah, pour que les actions se fassent.
Where's that sudden draft coming from?
Her clothes.
Ouais, voilà. Faut pas que je reste près d'elle.
Mr. Gordon? Speak to
Your
me, please.
stag is here.
Little doe.
We're all here, sir. What just happened? You...
Perhaps the lack of sleep is affecting me. Or the visions that you think me insane if I describe.
You need to learn to trust me. I am on your...
So you say. But I remember you locked my father up too.
Haha. En tout cas...
They seem to be a house...
On va devoir fouiller là-dedans.
Ugh, that's horrible.
You're not the one with your hand in it. French. I don't speak French.
I do. It says for Clara, forever yours. Who's...
I don't know. Yet another relative?
We should ask someone who's been around here for longer. How did you know it was there? The pendant, I mean.
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
A hunch. Eddie gave this to her. We should ask him to his face just what his relationship was with her.
This isn't another ghost story, is it?
Look, you wouldn't understand. I can't...
What I do understand is that we cannot accuse a man of murder without proof.
Oui, non, parler faire, ouais. Nous, français, nickel. Bon, je suppose qu'on doit se barrer d'ici. Oh là. Je vais me perdre là-dedans. Ah, c'est bon. Ah. Excusez-moi, pardon. Alors du coup, je pense qu'on va devoir aller revoir les autres. Merci.
There's no doubt about his loyalty. If Eddie really gave her that pendant, he might be her killer, and I might not be losing my mind.
Et je peux pas...
Mr. McKinnon, who is Clara?
The lady, Clara, young Eddie's late mother. A box with some of her belongings are kept in the library, as Master Eddie feels himself more a Gordon than a Mallory.
Nobody in this house...
Donc, gardez ces effets dans la bibliothèque.
Clara seems to be the name of Eddie's mother.
It's hardly an uncommon name. We need more proof for a grave accusation.
Clara.
It's hard.
Donc, je pense qu'on doit aller dans la bibliothèque. Ah.
The belongings of Eddie's mother.
Recognize that?
The necklace. Is that...
A young Eddie and his mother Clara.
I regret to inform you that your husband, Corporal Victor Mallory, number 874511, was killed in action with the enemy on the day of the 14th of September in Ypres. Your husband was involved in an advance against enemy lines. While he and his fellow soldiers fell, the action was successful, and you can take comfort in knowing his sacrifice saved many lives. It was not possible to get his remains away, and he was buried in a soldier's grave. Please accept the condolences of all the company. Yours, Captain Arthur Jones, 4th Army.
Thank you for your last letter. My heart soars with every word of yours I read. I touch the ink and imagine your fingers are just inches from mine, that we can almost touch, that I can almost feel the warmth of your skin once more. Young Edward grows more like his father each day. You'd be amazed how he shares your looks. I long for the day that this terrible war is ended and you return home to us, so we can be a family once more. I shall write to you again soon. Know that until then you are always in our hearts. Your loving wife, Clara.
The date. She was writing this when the death notice arrived. Oh, the poor woman.
Ouais.
You see? The necklace was his mother's. He gave it to the maid. The maid!
You're right. We need to speak to him about this. But how could you know this?
Cousin Eddie might be a murderer. How I draw my conclusions can wait.
Il faut qu'on aille où alors?
The maid could never have afforded this. This is a trinket of the rich, not a servant. The maid could never have afforded this. This is a trinket of the rich, not a servant.
Bonsoir Crunch. On va essayer de retourner de parler au majordome, on verra bien ce qui se passe. Bah ça va bien, merci. Et toi, comment ça va? Alors qu'est-ce qu'ils vont nous apprendre? Ah, je me suis trompée, c'est pas là. Ce n'est pas là. C'est là. Ici. Ah bon, t'avais plus du tout de PC? Donc, on monte le pendentif.
Eddie, I need to ask you about the maid. About Elsa.
You didn't know her!
I know that you and her were... That is to say, I know you had feelings for her.
What? That's poppycock! You're as deranged as your father was!
David, really? You go too far with this behavior.
The police will be here soon. Would you not prefer to clear this up before they get here in case they link Eddie with a crime?
Now look here, young lady. How dare you speak?
That's enough. Eddie.
Oh oh. J'ai juste changé le disque dur, je pensais pas que c'était le problème. Ah bah ça, quand le disque dur tombe en panne, des fois on pense que c'est autre chose, donc ouais, ça peut être complexe. Hein. Alors on monte le pendentif.
You gave her this.
I did.
Eddie!
I was just trying to cheer her up. She has nothing. You know she sends... You know she...
My little doe. Strange thing to call the help.
How? It was just...
Huh.
Her clothing was ripped, as if someone was trying to force themselves upon her.
I would never have hurt her.
You're a worthless liar. You think she thought being pressed against a dead animal was harmless fun?
How do you know? It's true. Elsa and I would never have laid a finger on her. We were in love. I helped her with everything, even with her chores. Rose and...
That's quite enough. Eddie, you are obviously upset. And you are not helping, David. Angus, will you please take the young master upstairs?
As you say, Mum.
I think you have caused quite enough disruption here. We shall settle this heritage dilemma first thing tomorrow.
I don't think so. I have more questions now than ever. About my father, the maid, this whole damn house.
Have a care, David. Need I remind you of your father's temper?
I would never.
Given the current mental state of Master Eddie, who should be a part of the heritage considerations, any discussion on the topic would be futile at this point. Would you not agree?
Thank you, Leah. Maybe it's a good thing you're here after all.
Impudent brats!
Elle a pas l'air de nous aimer, la lady.
What's going on?
Did you notice when Margaret got angry?
When Eddie mentioned... What was it? Chores involving a rose. What does that mean?
Something about the garden, perhaps? We could ask Rory. Or is it about the attic? Oh, I wonder. Whatever it is, it's something she doesn't want us to know.
The attic?
I saw the maid coming down the stairs with a tray. But there's nothing up there but an empty room.
Interesting.
On va regarder s'il n'y a pas un objet. Je pense qu'on va devoir aller au grenier. Ouais, je pense qu'on doit retourner au grenier. Et peut-être avant dans la cuisine pour revoir le plateau. Parce qu'il nous faut bien un item pour ouvrir le grenier, je pense. Il y a moins d'énigmes dans le chapitre 2, je trouve. On peut pas monter dedans. Le plateau, il est là. Je peux plus l'examiner. Je pense qu'on doit carrément aller au grenier. pas ouvrir le grenier.
You see? The necklace was his mother's.
You're right. But
Cousin Eddie might be a murderer. How I...
Faut peut-être retourner à la cave, non? Bah ouais, le grenier est toujours fermé. À mon avis, ça se passe dans la cave.
The scene really did rip when she tried to get away from him.
Bah non. Ben, je l'ai regardé, mais on apprend plus sur la femme qui s'est noyée. Je crois que non, la cave, j'ai tout fait. C'est pas ici la sortie. Ah, j'ai une bribe de photo. J'ai eu un sacré coup de bol, je l'ai trouvé, je crois. Ah, je suis perdue. Faut le faire. Se perdre là-dedans. Ah. Ah bah, on peut sortir dehors.
what is it? I'll get you back.
Stop monkeying around. Come with me.
I'll come inside in a bit.
Don't go.
Can I just have a few
It's
more
not a request, Carol.
Don't worry.
I'll be fine.
What's happening to me?
David? Is everything all right?
We should make haste.
Il devait être méchant, son grand-père. Hein. Il était pas commode. Hein.
Maybe once I found out what really happened to Father here, nobody...
Je peux pas y aller.
Ooh. Oh, stunning. How curious! Come and look at this.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Look, they form a clear circle.
This can't be a fluke.
Well, looks like one of the stones is missing.
A heavy enough stone to weigh yourself down with. Something's carved into each one.
Oh, elles sont toutes gravées.
You see?
You're right. But how could you...
Cousin Ed... I've never seen a rose like this before.
I have. The gardener, Rory.
Ah, je peux retrouver une grille de photos. Oh, tourmenté, ça a l'air d'être, ça a l'air d'être grand. Hein. Ah bah non, on a fait le tour.
That's an unusual looking rose. I noticed one like...
Aye, that's been me. A flower for the flower.
My aunt. Left...
I grew 'em for her. She loved the roses, did Cecilia. Know the red.
Forgive me, but wouldn't it be more fitting to place them on her grave?
Why, she's no there, is she, laddie? That's not where she rests.
Rory, what happened to her?
I'm not in the mood to open old wound.
There are some strange markings carved into the stones on...
Runes, aye. I'm old.
Superstitions don't gain validity just by being believed in for a...
I'd watch that. Your precious science doesn't have...
May I have some of the roses, Rory? I'd like to place them on Cecilia's grave.
What's she to you? You didn't ken her.
No, I didn't. But she's family. And besides, Father always spoke fondly of her. He would even smile as he talked about playing in the gardens with her as a child.
He did he? Aye, well...
I'll speak to you later, Rory.
Aye, I'm sure you will, laddie.
Ah, du coup,
Sorry, lassie, but you can't go in. It's for family only.
Just hold on a...
No, it's okay. I quite understand.
Aye, you must.
Oh. Je vais être toute seule là-dedans.
I know, it doesn't look like I have green fingers.
Ah oui, effectivement. C'est tout dégueulasse, hein. Ah, on est au chapitre 3 déjà, d'accord. Ok. On est déjà au chapitre 3. Bon, bah j'espère que ce petit live vous a plu. Donc on se retrouvera pour la suite lundi. La suite lundi. Et j'ai hâte de voir la suite. Bon, je suis un petit peu déçue parce qu'il y a de moins en moins des énigmes. C'est plutôt la fouiller partout de droite et de gauche et puis un peu découvrir ce qui se passe. Mais en tout cas, le grand-père n'était pas tout rose. Ouais, un petit week-end à attendre. Donc, à mon avis, le grand-père, enfin son arrière-grand-père, devait pas être tout rose là-dedans. Parce qu'on le voit, il est méchant. A priori, il faisait du mal à son fils. Donc, à mon avis, plus on va en apprendre, je crois, moins on va aimer le papy. L'arrière-grand-père, du moins. Donc, bon, après, ils sont tous contre moi, j'ai l'impression. Ils ont l'air tous se méfier de moi, alors que nous, on cherche juste à savoir la vérité. Mais bon, à mon avis, ils doivent pas aimer les fouineurs. Ça y est, je reparle du nez, je le sens. Je crois que j'ai jamais dépêtré de ce rhume ou de cette grippe. Ça commence à me saouler. Donc j'espère que ça vous a plu. Et j'essaierai de chercher un jeu, enfin les jeux à voter pour vendredi. Donc on verra bien ce que je vais mettre. Bah, de toute façon, il y aura des icônes et puis l'autre, je sais pas. Je vais regarder un petit peu dans mes archives ce qu'on pourrait mettre. Donc je vous souhaite à tous une très bonne nuit, faites de beaux rêves et je vous dis à lundi. Bye bye, bonne nuit.